Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the PSL of podcasts. It's Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Koblenz in studio alongside
Jay Reed.
And Art Shirley's on assignment. He didn't want to talk what we wanted to talk about, so we didn't let him in the door. Right, Jay?
Right.
Yeah, because we always do that. So we don't allow Art in when we don't want Art in. Oh, wait. No, that's you in talking, right? I should have said this is the podcast where Jay Reed can actually speak this week.
Hot dog.
Yeah, there you go. No, we're not going to talk hot dogs. We're going to talk coffee on the second half. But let's jump into some Geeks of the Week. Do you want to go first?
I guess so. Since Art's not here, it feels weird.
It really does. I mean, you know, it's almost like, yeah. So, crickets.
All right.
All right.
Let's.
What do you have?
It's one of our favorite. I don't know if we've done. What do we call it? A geek index on this guy or not?
Yeah.
If we haven't, we need to. But Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Prolific actor in some of our most favorite things. Commissioner Gordon in the Dark Knight trilogy. Slow Horses currently, which is really good.
You like Slow Horses?
I've only watched the first season, but only because I just haven't had time to go back and watch the rest. But yes, I really liked the first season. What else has he been? He's been in all the Harry Potter stuff. He was
not all of them because he dies.
Well, that's true. Well, he comes back though. He's kind of got this force. What do you call it? The force body that comes back.
He was in Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Right. The Fifth Element, which I always liked, was kind of quirky.
Yeah, so it says Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I didn't realize he was in that.
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of geek stuff. Well, I don't know if it was this week or just very recently this week when I saw it, he was knighted. So
really?
Now he's Sir Gary Oldman.
So that's a BCE. Is that what would he be now?
That's a good question. It didn't say. It just said that he was knighted by Prince William. So there's a picture, and he's got his little man bob ponytail thing going on, but nice dressed nicely. And anyway, I thought that's kind of cool.
So he would not be the Dark Knight any longer, would he?
Well, he wasn't the Dark Knight to begin with.
Well, he was in the Dark Knight.
He was in the Dark Knight, and now he is the Dark Knight.
So he's no longer Commissioner Gary Oldman. He's Sir Gary Oldman.
Sir Commissioner Gordon Oldman Gary.
Yeah.
Yes. Common Gary.
What was your favorite Gary Oldman movie? Do you have one off the top of your head?
I thought he did a terrific job in the Harry Potter movies.
Did you ever watch Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
I don't think so, but I think I need to.
Darkest Hour, he plays Churchill.
Okay. Oh, I think I might have seen that. I remember him being Churchill in something.
Yeah, I'm looking through some other stuff. He's been very, very prolific. Great actor. He was Lord Vortek in the Lego Dimensions video game.
Okay.
He was in RoboCop, the 2014 remake as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man, we do need to do a geek index on him. I mean,
Kung Fu Panda 2.
Kung Fu Panda. He voiced a character in Call of Duty Black Ops. He was in the Book of Eli. Yeah, he's been in a ton of stuff. So
Christmas Carol, Bob Cratchit, and some Jim. That's the Jim Carrey.
He was Sid in Sid and Nancy movie about
Sid Vicious.
Yeah, Sid Vicious. He was Sid Vicious. Air Force One.
Really?
You know,
was he the bad guy in Air Force One?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he was Dr. Smith in the 1998 reboot of Lost in Space.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's even more than I realized.
Boy, his geek index would be very, very high. Yeah, Sid and Vicious, which was 1980. I mean, Sid and Nancy, 1986, played Sid Vicious. Been active since 1982. So, but now we shall call him not Mr., but Sir.
Sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Next time we see him.
Yeah. which it will be probably never, but that's okay. So my geek is a little bit more nostalgic.
Venturing into my territory there.
Yeah. I doubt you remember in 1976 when DC and Marvel decided to do a crossover series called Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man Battle of the Century.
No.
So Marvel and DC, fierce competitors then, and still now, but probably bigger back then. They decided to take their two biggest characters, pit them in a battle against each other. So the 50th anniversary of said event, we're coming back, and we're going to have in March of next year, DC will publish Superman Spider-Man #1, which will be followed in April by Marvel publishing Spider-Man Superman #1.
Okay.
So don't know what the storyline is, don't know who the creative teams are, but 50 years after they got together in a battle of the century, they're going to
Who won the battle the first time?
I think it was a draw. Of course it would be.
Yeah, you would think so.
I mean, they're the Boy Scouts of their.
They're not going to agree to lose.
Yeah, they're the Boy Scouts of their respective universes.
True.
I mean, is there anybody more wholesome and Boy Scoutish in Marvel than Spider-Man?
No.
Oh, Mr. Stark, I'm not feeling very well. I'm sorry, Tom Holland. So, but anyway, and it also looks like January 26th, DC is going to publish a Treasury edition of Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man #1. So you'll have some more nostalgia. I would, should have saved this from when Art was here because I remember it, but I bet he bought it.
Yeah.
Because he would have been 11, I think, at the time, 10 or 11.
9.
Yeah.
However older he is than me.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So, but the greatest superhero team up of all time. So, but yeah, anyway.
Cool. That'd be fun.
I don't know if it'll be fun, but it'll be interesting to watch. Yeah. So,
that might be one comic I buy next year.
Yeah.
Or two.
What would be the second? I guess the second edition.
Yeah, the second edition.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be 14 cover variants, and you can.
Oh, gosh, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I thought I had another geek to pull up because I knew we would be a little light with Mr. Art gone, but can't find it. Doesn't really matter, I guess. So you got anything else you want to contribute?
I was trying to think of anyone.
This is your time to shine.
Well, I'm going to fail then. I have no other quick geeks to go.
I did see where at a some sort of con somewhere where Rose Tyler and the Doctor, David Tennant, and who plays Rose? What's her face? Actor who plays Rose Tyler, Billy Piper, suggested that the BBC should come along and do a Doctor Who movie to kind of reboot and kickstart. Something that's pretty interesting is Doctor Who has now disappeared from HBO Max. So New Who, which is Eccleston all the way to Jodie Whittaker, it's the last 10 years, 15 years of Doctor Who, or almost 20 years of Doctor Who at this point. It would be, we're in 2026, started in 06 or 09 or something like that. Anyway, that had been locked up in streaming with HBO Max, and the Ncuti Gatwa 2 seasons went to Disney Plus. And so you can't find it anywhere.
Oh, they're nowhere. They didn't go to Disney?
No. No one knows. Now, there has been a hint that they may end up on Netflix in the U.S., which is going to be interesting. So, but you can still watch classic Doctor Who on BritBox or Pluto to the dedicated Doctor Who classic channel.
Okay. All right.
You ever just pull Pluto up and stream?
Not in a while. I have in the past, but I haven't lately.
It's great background noise. It's there's a lot of good stuff on Pluto. So a lot of good old stuff on Pluto. One day, maybe guys of a certain age will end up.
Maybe I'll finish all the new stuff one day that I'm trying to watch.
So what are you in the middle of watching? I'll ask you that.
We just finished season 3 of Reacher last night, and it was good, but I felt like it was a little bit slow, and I don't know. his acting, Alan Rickson, is that
Yeah.
it just seemed like very stiff, more than usual. I mean, it's trying to play the character, but it just seemed a little stiffer than usual. A little, I don't know, too much.
We haven't seen season
deadpan.
3 yet. We need to finish up.
It ends. It's got a blockbuster ending, but it just takes a while to get to it. So that we just finished that. I'm probably. I know you've seen Sandman.
Yeah.
Season 2. I'm halfway through episode 11, which I think is kind of the conclusion. And then there's episode 12, which is just the angel of death or death.
Death becomes her.
Yeah, that's like a special.
It's great.
Attachment. Anyway, so I've got 1.5 episodes of that to finish that. And
what about?
I'm not sure what's next. I think we'll probably do Gilded Age next.
I was going to ask Gilded Age.
We haven't caught up, but we need to.
We're halfway through season 2. And I think I enjoy season 2 better than, or whatever season. Is this season 3?
This is season 3. This is
I've enjoyed season 3 more than I have the first 2.
Good to know.
I'm also watching Alien Earth on Hulu.
Mm-hmm. See, I never got into the alien stuff that much, so I don't know if I watched that.
It is fabulous. It's not, you've got some jump scares in it, but just the world building and some of the ethical questions that it raises about the synthesis of life are pretty fascinating.
Okay.
So, did you watch any aliens, anything?
I feel like I've watched, I couldn't say, to be honest. I might have watched the original Alien movie, but I don't think I've watched anything since. I don't remember much about that.
I think Alien is Ridley Scott's greatest movie of all time.
Okay.
Just absolutely brilliant. And we've talked about aliens before, how, the legend is James Cameron goes into 20th Century Fox executives and says, here is my pitch for the sequel to Ridley Scott. And he writes Alien, then he writes a $sign and walks out the door. So it becomes Aliens. And, the legend of Cameron is born, I guess, at that point.
Cemented for sure.
Yeah. So, but Alien Earth is quite good.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it.
It's prequel, right? You said that? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it takes place like 3 years before the original Alien.
Okay.
So, and there's Prometheus, which it was Ridley Scott. You've got Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, then there was an Alien 4, then you've had a couple, then you had Prometheus, which was kind of sort of a prequel almost. Anyway, and we'll be curious how they button, wrap, tie, whatever, the Alien Earth to see how it fits into current continuity.
Probably wrap it in maroon and white.
Yeah, maybe. More like blood and gore.
Okay.
More like blood and gore. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to talk about coffee up next. And we are back, and so we are recording this as the first days of autumn, which not only does that lead up to Halloween, but Starbucks has declared anything autumn is pumpkin spice related. And we talked about pumpkin spice and pumpkin spice flavorings and
couple times, I think.
But one of the things I'm going to toot our horn here at the Starkville Central headquarters, the Reflector, Mississippi State's newspaper ranked the PSLs, the pumpkin spice lattes in town. Dolce came in clear number 1.
Woohoo. So what's different about it? Or
they just said it was a. Let's see if I can find it. I'll read.
What makes it the best?
I'll see if I can find it to read the description that makes it so amazing. Where is it?
I haven't had anything pumpkin spice this year except for the M&Ms.
Yeah. Dolce earned the top spot with a latte that struck the ideal balance of pumpkin spice and espresso. The flavor was smooth, warming, and not overly sweet. The syrups used blended perfectly together as well.
Okay.
So
well-chosen syrups and proper blending.
Yeah, and that makes a difference.
Balance, yeah.
It's kind of interesting how the order of operation for coffee does make a difference. So Dolce came in first, Humble came in second, Strange Brew, Local came in third, Coffee Depot came in fourth, Starbucks, the originator, fifth, and High Ground got the low score.
Okay,
so,
that's. I'm glad that the Locals got the top billing.
Yeah, except for high ground.
Yeah.
So my question to you, as we were looking for a show thing to do, is coffee. What is your approach to when you're in a new place? If you're looking for coffee, what's your criteria for selecting a coffee vendor?
Vendor, like if I want a cup of something, that you mean a coffee shop or a place to get a cup of coffee? I'm always going to look local first for me.
Yeah.
Now I have to clarify because I'm looking local for lunch and dinner and all the things, but for coffee for sure, I want a coffee shop that is local, and the more eclectic, the better. But,
okay.
If I'm just going in for literally just because I need a cup of coffee or I'm feeling like a latte or whatever, then, that's what I'm going to look for. Now, my wife will enjoy that, but she will steer towards the Starbucks pretty quick. We will, especially in airports. Of course, in airports, that's mostly what you find.
Yeah, you hardly ever find a mom and pop coffee shop in the airport.
We were in, I think it was Memphis. She wanted some coffee. We got out of not passport control. We got out of security, and there was one right there. And I'm like, well, there's nobody in line here because that's a situation that brings me a lot of stress. If I'm trying to get to an airplane gate, because we have been in situations before where they're calling you to get in on the plane, and she's still in line at Starbucks, and it just stresses me out. Completely.
Yes.
And it's never quick there.
No.
There's always a line and there's always a wait. And anyway, it was just, it actually worked out in her favor one time because there was a bunch of food sitting around and she'd ordered food and somebody didn't show up for theirs. So they just handed her. She's like, I got to catch my plane now. She said, well, here, take this. So we both got breakfast, a quite good one actually. But anyway, she will go and she'll usually get if it's during the day, it's a caramel frappuccino, the frozen,
which is more frap.
Barely has any coffee.
Yeah.
Right. And then similar type of thing, but like a caramel macchiato would be her go-to. I know if I go to caramel macchiato somewhere, wherever it is, I'm safe.
Yeah.
But she'll have to, if we stay in a hotel, that's the first thing I do in the morning is go down to the breakfast place and get coffee for her. But I'd rather have a local shop. And if I'm hanging out, if I've got work to do, or if I want to read or whatever, then you're looking for a place that has good Wi-Fi. You're looking for a place that is not, deathly quiet, but at least quiet enough that you can kind of focus on stuff. But I like for instance, there's several in Oxford I've gone to, and I'll try to go if I'm someplace for more than 2 or 3 days, I'll try to go to different places every day and just kind of, see what's out there. And, I don't really have maybe Americano is kind of my go-to drink for when I just really want to enjoy coffee. I like the sweet and milky at times, but it's not really my focus.
Americanos are probably a little too much for me. It's I like a latte, and I like a variety. I like generally a latte. Sometimes I like a macchiato. Sometimes I like a cappuccino. But unfortunately, most folks in the United States do not know the difference between a latte, a macchiato, or a flat white. Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of like flat whites too. Mm-hmm. So do you know the difference?
I have learned them at times, but I could not define it right now.
So a latte is going to be 1 part espresso, 2 parts steamed milk, and then you got some foam on top. So basically, regular layer, double layer, and then foam.
Okay.
An espresso macchiato is going to be a latte without the steamed milk. So you've got 1 part espresso, mm-hmm. right, which is usually a double shot, and you're topping it with milk foam.
Oh,
that
macchiato is
the
foam without the.
That is traditionally what a macchiato is supposed to be.
Yeah, right.
A macchiato is supposed to be marked with milk. Okay, that's what macchiato. That's an Italian derivation.
Okay.
And so it's supposed to be coffee that's marked with milk. That's not what we get at Starbucks. At Starbucks, you basically get a foamy latte with lots of caramel. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll get a mocha, and then cappuccino. It's kind of the inverse, a little bit of a latte where you have 1 part espresso, 1 part steamed milk, and then a lot of milk foam. So a cappuccino has much more milk foam, and I've been told that you never order a cappuccino after 9 a.m. in Italy because they'll make fun of you because it's a breakfast drink.
Okay.
So, but anyway, all that to say,
flat white. How does flat white fit?
Yeah,
Do you know?
And a flat white is going to be espresso with 2 parts steamed milk on top. And different folks do flat whites different ways.
Yeah, I've done some listening of podcasts and read some books, and I think not just Starbucks, but everybody kind of has their own take. I mean, if you go to Italy,
well, the flat white started in Australia.
Oh, really?
Believe it or not.
Okay.
I just
think the way that I think we've done to coffee in America
what we've done to pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just kind of made it our own and used some of the same names.
Flat white is either Australia or New Zealand back in the 80s. It kind of happened simultaneously. And it's espresso with just a little steam foam on it.
Okay.
So,
and I'll get a cortado every now and then. And I'm not really sure what the difference of that is, except it's smaller usually.
Yeah, cortado is, let's see if I can find it, give you the traditional, they don't have it on here.
Sometimes it actually comes with a little glass of water, doesn't it? Or
let's see what the cortado definition. It's a Spanish coffee beverage with a shot of espresso is cut with an equal amount of warm steamed milk. So and sometimes you'll get a little shot of water to kind of chase it down. Okay. So then a cubano, which is like super, super sweet, sugary.
That has sweetened condensed milk in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
You put a lot of sugar in the espresso, then you top it with sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah, I like those. I don't want that every morning.
Oh, no.
But every now and then I'll love something like that. Yeah.
So your go-to order is going to be an Americano.
Pretty much. I will, I used to get, the Americano is an espresso with hot water, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's usually if your coffee shop does not have drip coffee, it's the closest thing to drip coffee you can do.
Okay. So I don't know if this is still the name of it. Used to be Southbound Coffee in Columbus, not far from here, and they had something called a red eye, which was
a shot of
drip
espresso
coffee with a shot of espresso in it. Yeah, I like that too.
Oh, so we had a semi-celebrity come into Dolce Saturday morning before the game and ask for a shaken espresso with 5 additional shots of espresso.
5 additional shots?
5 additional shots. Wow.
Okay, so answer this question for me. Shaken espresso, I've had those a couple of times, but most of the time they've been cold.
They're all cold.
They're all cold.
They're shaken with ice.
Okay, I was trying to think how you shake something hot.
So it's a little
dangerous.
Yeah, it's your espresso with ice with a little bit of milk, and you shake it. And that's a shaken espresso.
I wonder what it does differently shaken than it would just stirred.
So it's going to get it colder faster, and
like a cocktail shaker kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a Luva cocktail shaker in Dolce that we shake it with, and that ice is going to break and it's going to melt a little differently. And if you're putting a little bit of sweetener and milk in it, it's going to shake it really, really well. So it should be it'll uniform
foam up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay.
It's all kind of, I hate to say it's gimmicky, but it is a little bit gimmicky. But, the order of operation for an ice drink is incredibly important. What we initially did at Dolce is we pulled a shot of espresso, and all our drinks are 2 shots of espresso. And so we would pull the shot of espresso, put syrup or sweetener in. I would shock it with ice and then add milk. Well, one of my managers came from Starbucks is like, no, you can't do that because that's going to water the espresso down quicker. You do syrup, espresso, milk, ice. And in that case, you're using ice more as a cooling agent or an insulation agent as opposed to bringing the temperature of the espresso down, because the milk will bring the temperature of the espresso down, and it does change the taste.
Huh.
So one of the things that is fascinating to me is caffeine versus roast. And I think we talked about this before on a previous podcast. So a blonde roast, which is what I get if I'm going to do something at Starbucks, I'm going to get a blonde roast. Starbucks house roast, their Pikes Peak, what have their dark roast or their medium roast just tastes burnt to me. And so I will tell you, here's a hint. If you're looking to get something from Starbucks that's not as heavy and dark, ask for their blonde roast. It's not roasted as much, which means it's going to have more caffeine. The reason it has more caffeine is the longer you roast that bean, the more water escapes. So if you are brewing volumetrically, right? So you've got a blonde roast is a denser ground substance than a dark roast, because the blonde roast still has a little bit of moisture in it, and it has more caffeine in it because you end up with higher volume. Interesting. Just pretty fascinating. Yeah. A blonde roast is probably going to have a little bit more caffeine, but drip coffee traditionally has more caffeine. Not 8 ounce, 10 ounce drip coffee is going to have more caffeine than 2 ounces of espresso typically. So anyway, so your red eye, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, but if I'm having to get something from Starbucks, I'm going to base it on a blonde roast as opposed to a dark roast.
Good to know. Yeah, I think the bottom line there is that it's kind of deceiving. What you would think would be a more concentrated, darker roast would be more powerful, but it's really more just about the flavor changing. The caffeine actually goes down, it sounds like.
So this is from the reputable Cooks Illustrated. Whoops, I didn't want that iPad anyway. Cooks Illustrated Q. What is that? Oh, that's it's a Reddit. This is fascinating. Coffee beans are roasted to different degrees to produce specific flavors, but whether the process affects caffeine levels is a question many of us in the test kitchen have also had. We rounded up a bag of green coffee beans in a home coffee roaster and then brought half of the beans to a classic light roast and the rest to a dark roast. After grinding the batches separately in a burr grinder, we brewed 2 pots of coffee using the same volume of coffee ground per batch, and they sent both to a lab for testing. When the results came back, we learned that the light roast had much more caffeine than the dark roast, 60% more in this particular case. Perplexed, we decided
60%?
60% more. And again, I'm quoting all this. Perplexed, we decided to see what would happen if we measured the coffee ground by weight instead of volume. They went with a half a cup of grounds per 3.5 cups of water for the brewing process. So instead of going volumetrically with cups, they went with weighing it out as a weight. They measured out 1.5 ounces of ground coffee per 3.5 cups of water. And as they added more ground coffee to the scale, they noticed that it took 2.5 more tablespoons of dark roast than light roast to reach the 1.5 ounces. So the lighter roast was heavier, darker roast was lighter. And so even though volumetrically it looked the same, it was, you had more stuff at the way. Yeah.
So the bean size is about the same, but you've lost the water, and it evaporates, but it doesn't shrink the bean. So
it's kind of like dry aging beef.
Okay.
So anyway, blonde roast doesn't taste as burnt. It's not roasted as long, and it's probably going to have more caffeine. Different folks do different things different ways. But I would say if you're looking to try to give Starbucks, the stores are closing down slowly but surely, try the blonde roast.
Okay.
So, do you ever get a decaf coffee at a coffee shop?
only if it's late in the day and I just feel like I need something. And I will make a decaf in the afternoon at work sometimes just because I need I'd rather have a cup of decaf coffee than eat something. You know, my mouth needs something and I don't want to necessarily eat, but I need to do something, and I'll make a decaf cup. But I rarely order one because I'm not in coffee shops in the afternoon a whole lot just because of my working schedule. But I would. I mean, if I was there, if I had an afternoon and it was getting late and I didn't want to have caffeine, you know, because I'm an old man and need to get my sleep at night.
What time's your caffeine cut off?
Usually between about 2:30 or 3.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if it makes a difference. Sometimes I feel like it does and sometimes it doesn't. In my younger days, I could drink a Mountain Dew with dinner. It wouldn't bother me at all. But now I just kind of cut that line, or I set that line just to be on the safe side.
Like, you know, is it more psychological?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, I'm on my feet 10 hours a day, and sometimes I need a little boost, or again, psychological maybe.
Yeah.
I'll make that cup about 2:00 and kind of sail me through the afternoon. But
so are you percolating? Are you K-cupping it?
At work, I'm K-cupping it.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything against it.
I'm sorry, I looked down at you for having a K-cup.
My wife K-cup every morning. I had one this morning because I was in a hurry.
Yeah.
And I just needed to get on the road. And so I did. Of course, my K-cup was, I used the K-cup, and then I put some orange flavored creamer, and I had a little, I forget what sweetener I used this morning, but, I had some vanilla simple syrup. So I made a creamsicle coffee with the bold and the beautiful, or whatever we use, the emerald bold in something that we drink, or that she drinks. But
so you're saying the K cup became a J cup?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But normally in the mornings, if I have time at all, I'm doing a pour over with the Hario V60.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
That is my go-to. I have a lot of gadgets, but that's the one that I go to.
Describe said gadget.
All right. So it's basically the bottom part, just the carafe just looks like a mini coffee pot that you would take out of maybe a little bit more angular. It's not flat sided. It angles up towards the center. And then it's got a cone that sits on top with an opening at the bottom, and you put a cone shaped filter in there. You grind your coffee to a certain grind depending on the coffee.
How are you grinding? You've
got a Baratza
Berg grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lately my son Jacob's really into coffee even more than I am. And so I kind of lean on him for stuff. So for instance, I get a text about every week from this coffee club, and it'll say, this is what we got this week. It's from wherever, and tells you exactly what kind of bean it is, how they fermented it and washed it and all this stuff. And you can buy it or not. And then the next week you get something else. And so I've bought several things. I bought from a company called Native, one that I think it hit all the tasting notes. You know how the tasting notes will be there, and sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. Well, this one was like chocolate covered raspberry and something else. And I took that first sip and it was just dead on. Really enjoyed it. So when that same maker or roaster had something a few months later, I bought it and I drank it. I was like, I really don't like this. And I gave Jacob some, and he said, we love it. And I said, well, I may send you the rest of mine. And he said, well, did you use the brewing guide? I was like, no, because this guy sends you a brewing guide every time, and it tells you what grind size to use, what the best method is, what the temperature of the water should be, how many grams of coffee and how many grams of water to use. And so I do it on a scale. I use the scale method. So I pulled out that brewing guide, and it completely changed the taste of the coffee.
So we need to have Stefan Dribble in here to talk, really talk coffee. We're talking surface stuff, right? Stefan is the coffee version of a sommelier, and he takes it incredibly seriously. He dials in our coffee at Dolce. He and his wife are part owners in Dolce with us, and his coffee knowledge is extreme. So we should he's out of town. I think they're I don't know where they're at there, but we need to get Stefan in soon. You, Stefan, and I will have a coffee. We'll go through the whole process, and I will listen to you two as you talk about your pour overs. I just know enough to get a decent cup of. I'm usually doing a mocha or some sort of latte, but I want to taste coffee. Mm-hmm. I don't want.
Oh yeah.
I don't want chocolate milk with a little coffee aftertaste.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately seems to be what happens.
You just have to know what you're getting. I went to Starbucks the other day. We were in Target somewhere, and I wanted something sweet. So I got the strawberry frappuccino, which has 0 coffee in it. But that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
If I want coffee, you're right. I'm same as you. I want the coffee to be at the forefront of it. But it's been fascinating. This club, I've gotten stuff from China. I've gotten stuff from various Ethiopia, from I can't remember where these others came from. Sort of the go-to places. But the China was really good from Yunnan province. And I just got some from Yemen the other day that was supposedly a really rare lot and one grower and all the things. I haven't even tasted yet. I'm kind of waiting for it to get, because the brew guy will also tell you based on what day it was roasted, the ideal time to start, using it.
Yeah.
Time the gases to disappear and all that.
It's crazy, the chemistry involved. It's almost alchemy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it does change everything. Mm-hmm. So we'll get Stefan on. I know Stefan's going to text me, like, when can I come on? Well, Stefan, we'll get you on and we'll talk coffee geekdom soon.
Yep.
So, and any last coffee parting gifts?
No, I just want to say that I'm not anti-PSL. If you want a PSL, go for it and go to Dolce and get it. Apparently it's the best.
Wow. And he was not a compensated spokesperson for that. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time around.